Alrighty, hello. Welcome to the stream. We are going to be heading to starting locations in but a moment.
I hate. Are we starting? Are we going in?
Here we are. Ooh. Hello.
Welcome to the shuttle.
I hope everybody's having a good day thus far, and here we are back at it again with Sloan. This time extra crispy edition. So for those who are unaware, Sloan lost his cybernetic arm last session due to a experiment gone wrong with some magical pills. Ended up in an explosion that made him bedridden for a good week. True. Yeah. The Purple Lotus is pretty good for that, but yeah, I agree. So we are going to be up to quite a bit today. Supposedly there's a big meeting called by, I believe it was Quixote, that they want everyone to be meeting up with them first thing. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, for most of this session, I'm gonna have to be pretending this arm doesn't exist. So that ought to be fun. Ooh. Yeah. It is nice when you can attend them.
Just want to let you guys know, we are already having issues with a few players for the broadcast and the ping DM system. If you are not able to ping a DM, please come into the GM channel if you have any questions. Thank you.
Alright. But yeah, full-time jobs are... it's fun. Get some use out of this arm before I have to have it limp for the next 3 hours. Oh yeah, it is joinable. You just need to ask one of the mods for the group, and then they'll ask you some questions, and you can get in that way. But we have quite a few people that are desktop as well in here. Ooh. So I think for this week we're going to be putting the working on the security footage on hold, as working on that without two arms is going to be a bit much. But hopefully we can catch up on things that we've missed last week. There's a few people in the... Yeah. If you do want to get into it, the main Neon Divide Discord, there's a few people in there that you can send a message to ask about the Fan RP. That would be Slayin would be one of them. Dexy. Forgetting the others at the moment. But there's a couple that you could try asking. But there's a few questions that you need to ask just for, legal reasons and such, that you do have to be over 18 to join the RP, and so, stuff like that. The main Callus Row Neon Divide Discord. There we go. So it begins. Welby Sloan, Nirvana. Finally able to get back into it. Let's see what we can get up to today. Nice day, though it's going to be spent mostly indoors. I believe Miss Harper would be in the clinic.
No, there's Sloan now.
Good morning.
Morning.
Oh.
How are you feeling?
Well, I'm all right. I could be better.
I can relate.
Come again?
See you.
Aye.
I assume you got the message, the email?
Indeed, I have. Should be interesting.
If
Indeed.
you have some time before you head out, I'd like to talk with you a little bit.
Certainly. We still need to have that, 3-person meeting with, Miss Inessa as well.
Of course, actually, I'd like to talk
Yeah.
to you too, so maybe we can have a quick talk before
Certainly.
the whole meeting with Kyoto. Just give me a moment. I'm
Aye.
just waking up myself. Dr. Harper.
Feel no under Sloan. We do have some painkillers ready.
I should be fine.
Mm.
I've dealt with worse.
Yes.
Where did the assistants put my exoskeleton? Have you seen?
Exoskeleton. Ah. I wonder what that thing was. I didn't put two and two together until you just mentioned that.
Yeah.
God. This thing's heavy.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff compacted in there.
I see.
No business being as small as it is, but very dense.
Indeed.
Thank you very much. I can take it from here.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Okay.
May I ask? I don't believe I've been informed as to why you're currently in the clinic.
I things that have been happening recently have made me rethink some things and feel like I needed an edge, so I got a little wet work done. So
I see.
now I'm got a few more advantages. Hope.
Indeed.
Oh, come on, piece of shit. Okay. Okay. I think they're working good. As expensive
Seems
as
that
they
way.
are, as expensive as they are, they're still a little finicky sometimes.
Hmm.
Have some handy add-ons though. Holster clip. Looks handy. Oh, there's my jacket.
Okay. I forget exactly where. I think maybe in the,
Mm-hmm. No problem.
Oh, good morning,
Oh.
Dr. Sachs.
How are you doing?
Dr. Death.
Yes, sorry I'm a little late.
Hi.
I wanted to
That's fine.
thank you again, Dr. Zax, for your help with the surgery. It's pretty important to me, and it's some delicate work. So, thank you very much. You did a very good job.
Ah, of course, yes.
Agent Sloan, if you'd unless you have other stuff to take care of, I'd like to have
Indeed,
Nessa
certainly.
as soon as possible.
Right this way.
I suppose I'll be seeing the both of you later, unless coming along.
Indeed. I will need to see you later as well. I'll need to check up on how I'm healing. See if I can maybe ditch the crutch.
Now, for this meeting, would you prefer to be the two of us first, or would you like Miss Annetta right away?
I'm sorry, what was that?
If you were here as well, you might have got blown up as well.
Which meeting would you like to do first?
Well, if we can do them both together, I can mention the same thing here, because I wanted to talk to her about the same thing that I want to talk to you about, so.
Very well. In that case, Dr. Sachs,
Yes.
could you possibly take a quick run to Talaris and grab Miss Anessa?
Of course, yes.
Thank
They
you.
may have already gone to Quixote. Possibly.
Perhaps. We'll see if we can catch them first.
But can I get
Either
a
way,
reason
let's
for
hope.
grabbing her, just to see if I can speed things up?
Aye. Talaris is a high priority meeting.
Want to talk to her.
Indeed.
Of course.
Mention our names.
One that
it'll,
was
I'm
not
sure she'll
done last
understand.
time.
Aye.
Yes.
I'll go right away.
Now, to the boardroom. Morning.
Greetings. Greetings, madam. White path.
So, regarding the Discord, I think there might be a link to it on the VRChat wiki for Callus Row or Neon Divide. If not, you can try going to callusrow.com. It might be there too. Otherwise, you might need to do a little searching. Indeed.
Hope you don't mind me asking. Do you have any? God, I hate to consider even the fact of taking one. You wouldn't happen to have any photo cubes lying around, would you? In your break room or anything? I need to.
I'm afraid that we don't have one immediately, though I could call for one.
But I'd appreciate that. Wow, my head is
Very well.
throbbing, and I don't want to take one of these without food.
There's the guard at the front gate on this radio. Once more, there's the guard at the front gate on this radio.
Just checking in over here, but apparently I just missed
Should I come? Why? What's the reason, sir? Do you need me?
That's a shame. Well,
Please fetch a water cube and bring it to the boardroom.
Sure, sir. Working on it.
As you were saying?
So you say we missed Anessa?
Yes, apparently she just went to the Kyoto meeting, or at least some kind of meeting, but I imagine Kyoto was the one.
Well, perhaps this should be postponed.
Perhaps we can get Nessa as we leave the Kyoto meeting and I'll head here immediately afterwards.
Perhaps.
At least the sooner we get to Kyoto and get that meeting over with, the sooner we can get to our meeting then.
Indeed, I also have
Before
business.
They show up.
Agent Sloan, I'd still like to talk with you if possible.
Indeed.
Quick aside. I hope you don't mind, privately, of course.
Certainly. We can head in my office.
Ah, will you be heading to the meeting with us, Dr. Zex?
Oh, well, I kind of need it, but I'm unsure if that's necessary for me to attend.
Aye.
I believe it was all corp and department heads, so are you department head?
You know, I'll get back to you on that one. Maybe I should just attend.
Very well.
Well, I mean, honestly, there's nothing requiring you to come. If you don't want to. Trust me, I don't.
Aye, it's only Quixote.
That's true. Not one for
Plus,
me
there
to
will be a
discuss.
Nirvana present.
Indeed. The choice is
So
yours.
I'll leave that to you then.
Very well.
The requested water cube.
Thank you. For Miss Valentine.
Thank you very much.
sorry.
Quite alright.
Yes.
Again, thank you.
Enjoy your...
Ah. God, I fucking hate these things. Mm. Pardon me. What? Where the hell did I put that? No, that's not it. I dropped my pills somewhere.
Perhaps you can grab some more on the way out. Well. The Calistro Discord is a, public kind of server Discord that you
I'm
can
sorry, that's
be a part of
embarrassing.
without
I'm
being a
so
member. Aye.
wired after the surgery. Or that on my leg now. Anyways, oh, sorry, I'll lower my voice. I, have done some looking into Quixote and, some elements of Suniti. I have some idea of what this, meeting might be about. I don't feel quite comfortable saying quite everything, but I'm just hoping with our current, arrangement, I will be able to count on your support in the days to come.
Indeed. Though it would certainly be helpful to know a bit more of what you are hinting at, I will allow you your discretion.
Of course. I don't know what specifically I can say, but I'll just... An asset of Saniti was recently run afoul by Quixote. And may have angered them greatly. I believe Atlantis was also a part of that. So they may have a bone to pick with Saniti. I don't know how much they know. I can't say much more than that, but I just know that there have been some things that my corporation has done that has angered them, and that may fall upon me as the highest level representative currently available. So,
I see.
don't want to be a part of it. I would rather have washed my hands of it, but as the matter stands, I'm in their crosshairs, and as much as I don't know, Praver, the man who sent us the message, is an unstable man. That's what I see in him. So,
Aye.
I could use all the allies I can get. He seems to be the kind of person who shoots first and asks questions never. So,
Indeed.
I honestly fear for my life a little bit, especially when I'm walking into their den. So, yes.
Very well.
Very much appreciate your support.
Aye. I do appreciate you telling me this ahead of time.
Of course. I was hoping to tell Anessa as well, but she was a little more ready to go than we were. So.
Aye. Well, we had best not wait any longer.
Of course. Just hope that's alright. Sorry, this headache is fucking killing me.
Aye, I can imagine.
Alright. Well, let's get going.
Indeed.
God, I fucking hate these things.
Quixote has sent an envoy to remind us that there is a meeting.
The Gaul. Well, we're on our way.
Very well.
We will be heading to Quixote. Inform me of any events.
Yes, sir. I will.
Was that Anessa over there?
No, that was Dr. Mason.
Ah, sorry. I gonna get loose.
Was that Dr. Mason?
Indeed.
He's just
He just showed up a few moments ago.
I see. Well, we had best get to Quixote then.
I'll leave you to it. Have a fun meeting.
Indeed.
Thank you again. Back to Zax.
Just make sure they get up there. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
Morning, everyone. Good morning.
We're here for the meeting.
Hello there.
I take it you're here for the meeting.
Aye.
Nirvana, and Saniti?
Yes.
Of course. Yeah, so we'll have to just be checking IDs, doing biometric scans. You're probably all used to the drill by
Very
now
well.
after,
Certainly.
Of course.
Security protocol.
quick DM note.
I feel
Steven,
clear.
do you have any? Steven, do you have your decking gear on you?
That's what this is.
Okay.
Best alternative.
And I got to know you.
Alright. Check out. I will now get the
You seem clear.
Suniti representative.
Dr. Harper,
You, Dr. Valentine.
you and Dr. Sloan be
Dr.
needing me if you
Valentine,
want to
yes.
know.
Yep.
Up to you. If you want to come in, that's fine, but otherwise, all your call. Perhaps I won't be leaving Dr. Zax for now. Also, I'll leave you
very
to
well.
the meeting.
Already.
Alright. Is this guy good?
He's clean.
Understood, sir. Alright, everything good here? Sorry.
Yes.
Oh. Alright, you can start to escort them. And Union Rep seem to have left.
Please enter.
Thank you.
Ladies
Good
and
morning.
gentlemen, welcome. Thank you for handing off your devices and whatnot at the front gate. I assume any devices within yourself will be deactivated, correct, Suniti?
Yes.
Thank you. The meeting's being held upstairs. We'll begin shortly.
Very well.
Very well then.
Once this meeting has concluded, I do have a small bit of business with a Quixote, perhaps R&D specialist.
We'll see what we can get it set up for you, but please head upstairs now.
Very well.
Very well.
Glad he knows that. It wasn't supposed to be very public.
I seem to have missed something.
Well, we only got the surgery yesterday, so...
Aye.
Is that your hair, or is that just something you added to the armor?
I'm gonna leave that up for. I'm gonna leave that up for imagination.
Oh, they both made it at like the same time.
Well, there you go.
Amazing.
Oh, would you look at that?
Mr. Sloan, may I help you?
Good morning. Aye. As well as I can be.
The last ones to make it in there. How embarrassing.
And Miss Harper as well.
This,
Ladies and gentlemen of the upper city, thank you so much for
Hey.
coming. Truly is a pleasure to
Feel
see
free to
all
take
your
the seat.
faces here in one spot. It's not usually we see all the corporations in one area. This time's a special one. There are a few matters that Quixote wishes to present to the board. We're gonna make this quick, painless, and easy. For those who know, in the past couple weeks we've been having security issues, deckers and insurgents and whatnot. And today we're going to be discussing these issues at full, so all are on the same page and aware of the situations at hand. Last week, me and Mr. Ludovic here had a team go down to the road to find this decker that was causing us so many issues. After surveillance and ample questioning, we were able to find said decker. If you wish to look inside the box, you will find the synthetic named Devi, the very culprit hacking into our security doors and stealing information. If you want proof, it is in this box and you may come up and see it yourself. As I continue, I want to make something very prevalent to all corporations. Any member, any association, mercenary, decker, security member, found tampering with another corporation, especially to Quixote, will meet that end. Why do I bring this up? Simple. This Decker was found to be an Sanidi employee with upper city access. How do I know this? I sat in a damn meeting with them, and they told us everything. The reason they're dead is because they tried to break into our building, and we found ample evidence to deem it so that they were to be put, well, to death. And as such, we'll be going through all their drives, their memory, and then whatever the hell they stole from our corporations. But as doing so in Quixote and Atlantis, we fix this issue. And as such, Quixote and Atlantis will have first access to any drives of memory from other corporations on this bot, also known as any stolen information. We will, of course, return this to everyone after we have scrubbed through it and seen that it is fit. Does that sound fair to the board?
No
Absolutely.
objections here.
Sounds fine to me.
Aye.
Now, why do I bring this up? There's another matter that's been pressing us recently. We've been having reports from Wodo, Atlantis, Talaris, Quixote, that there have been insurgents running around the Row, the Undercity, and hell, even the Upper City, trying to assassinate high-level personnel and disrupt supply lines. I want to make something very prevalent to you. The information we have found and the information we have gathered from our sources indicate that some of these instances have been Mars associates.
Am I just blind, or is Mars not here anymore?
I'll wait for Mars to wake up. And in the meantime, I'd like to open questions to the board, or any statements you want to put on this Decker, or any other instances you might have had. If so now, put it on the table.
So we're still on the are we still on Devi? Or are we moving on to this person going around?
We are still on this Sanidi.
Okay, I don't have anything on that.
Has Talaris had any?
Continue, Talaris.
I was just asking, Vanessa here. Did we have any issues with this Devi Decker? I don't remember them personally.
I don't recall them personally either, though. We have had a few attacking attempts at our gate and
I'll just let you know, personally, this Devi fellow has tried to hack into every corporation as far as a pinging attempt.
I don't think what
To see how strong the security is.
Neither has Novana.
Fair, fair. Then likely we have some information in there as well.
Now, as I was saying, these outbursts of insurgents throughout the Row, Undercity, and Upper City, oddly enough, most reports say it's Mars personnel. Mars, do you have any comment on this, by chance?
I have quite a few, actually. Right, well, I'll get the two of you up to speed. The rest of you will know. Recently, there has been a terrorist. Yes, well, recently there's been a terrorist, and they were confirmed to be a changeling. Thus, I had suspected my former second-in-command, and as I informed those who had been attacked by said terrorist, I planned on dealing with the matter. I wanted to wait 7 days in order to ascertain their next movements. They've dirtied my company's name, and I can't let that stand. Mars
Do we know the name of this individual?
Yes, they were formerly known as O'Hare. And Rinny was a nickname their friends gave them. They were a child asset developed during a war on Titan. However, I did inform I was going to have a public execution, though it does seem I had to speed things up, seeing they planned on attacking 2 individual corporations today. So I proceeded to act accordingly, had my synth record, 2 of my associates bear witness, and executed her promptly. The body has been disposed of. Unfortunately, there was planetary gain, and her parents have a planetary claim on her body. Thus, I'm afraid I cannot provide it to you. You'll just have to, and I know this is hard, take me on my fucking word. I understand my reputation has been a bit besmirched, and I'd very much like to fix relations which have been skirked. Either way, that's my comment.
Brutally honest. Taking someone's word from a corporation that has incited and caused multiple insurgents attacks, not only against Quixote, but other corporations as well, even if this was an insurgent or a terrorist, they were still a Mars associate, and the fact it took this long, does this not upset anyone else on the board?
If I'm allowed to explain, I was not present for any of these instigations. They were placed as head of Mars as a precautionary measure just until I could be placed on planet. And I would also like to say trust is earned, and I'd very much appreciate if you didn't judge the child on the sins of the father. I trust no one's that narrow-minded to assume that we're all the same.
No, we are not.
I'm sure that kind of assumption wouldn't go very well down with any of you.
Unfortunately, this has almost cost my life on numerous occasions, so trust is very thin. It's not very fun getting.
And you have my utmost apologies, and I will outlet you in any way to redeem that. Any repercussions I will pay.
No. You don't understand, alright? They've hacked into both Atlantis, if I'm going by this right, and Quixote, and all these other corporations. Have any other corporations gotten this little, what is it, red static ping going on in their corporations? Any of you? I'm pretty sure you have, right? I'm pretty sure this one is a Becker, so I'm pretty sure that this is all the same thing. This is this one person going into multiple corporations. It's a security threat that spans on billions upon almost trillions of credits of research that they could have gotten.
Sure it's this changeling that instigated.
I'm just making assumptions at this point, but to be honest, the one that has majorly done the problems is already gone. And the only other Decker that I know that has this type of knowledge is this changeling.
If I would like to bring something up to the board. You say the subject in question, O'Hare, is dead, but you do not have a body to produce. Do you have footage to produce of said?
Yes, I do. I had my synth record the entire thing on standby mode, thus not to allow order bias. The entire execution is recorded. I'm afraid, again, you'll have to take me on my word. Her parents have planetary claim, and unfortunately that goes above me. If you want to take it up and make staring trouble for the higher-ups, fucking by all means. But that is the best I can do for you, I'm afraid.
I think it is only fair this footage is distributed to all corporations, so we may review it for
As it should be.
to see our plan of action.
Absolutely.
Because as it stands, Mars is a corporation. If you had involvement or not, one of your highly decorated employees has caused issues for multiples on this board, and I think I speak for a few of them that they are, and sorry for my language, quite pissed off.
That's precisely why I've been placed on this planet. I'm here to fix Mars's besmirched name by this traitor. Her blood will path the way for our redemption, and once again I ask you, trust is earned, and I'd like you to let me earn it. Mars is under new management, and I'd like it to be known.
And what if these attacks continue, Mars? What if we all of a sudden have another pop-up of a Mars insurgent breaking into our buildings, assassinating people? What then?
You won't.
Do you promise and make
But how
your
could we trust
Mars
you
go?
You
on
said-
that?
You said this
How
situation
about
was
this,
gonna be
then?
handled last week, alright? You said this situation was gonna be handled last
I
week.
told you
and then I
last
ended up
week
getting a
that I
fucking
was going to
grenade
wait
under
7
my
days
feet,
to see
okay?
what her next move was.
It's cool now that you're gonna like react to this situation, but it doesn't fucking matter if I'm already dead on the fucking floor when you do this, alright?
I'm sorry that your life had been attempted a few times. I didn't know, and I wasn't here.
And I have the footage.
I'm
I
trying
have the
to
footage
fix
of this
this.
shapeshifter dropping a fucking bomb underneath my feet, and then going through a corporate fucking dock and not getting picked up by the fucking security drone or whatever. And then their little friend follows them through, and they get gunned down in a second. And if we want, we can go look at the fucking security log from that gate and get the name of who entered that gate at that exact moment. I'm pretty sure it's going to come back up as a layer.
To stop
She's
parading
dead.
Mars, they've
There's
learned
nothing more I
their-
can do. I'm terribly sorry.
You've learned your mistake, but now it's time to pay up. I'm going to put this to a vote of all the board meters here. All those in favor of having Mars pay compensation for the loss of assets, threat of
If I may.
life.
Much of these assets lost may not be Mars's responsibility.
It does not
this,
matter if it was Mars's as abroad. It was a highly decorated employee in a position
what I
of
mean.
power.
Let me save you the vote. It'll be paid in full. As a sign of good faith.
That's excellent.
I would still like to bring this up as it's a... If you believe that that thread is gone, you may be sorely wrong. That red static that you're talking about, that you found in your
Did it
networks,
happen after?
found all over. Say again?
Was the red static after they're presumed dead?
I can't say that for sure, but what I know is I have been... how do I put this? I have been researching a defense against such techniques, and that is not, as far as I can tell, I don't think Mars could create such a thing. The thing that is there's a program, a virus, that is causing that damage. It is, in my opinion, no offense, Mars could not make anything so advanced.
Are you telling us that this is similar to a Titan? I'm getting right to the chase here.
I'm not entirely sure what you mean. What is a Titan?
Let me explain this thoroughly so everyone will understand. There's this large threat a couple months ago called Titan, and whenever they try to hack into our networks, it would do a red kind of static and go all around. You see, I tried to blank this out of my mind and try to think that this is Mars because I do not want another Titan threat, as multiple corporations have been trying to research into trying to make more human-like synthetics. Kraver knows this, I know this. What kind of theory are you talking about? And speak it carefully.
Less than a theory, quite confirmed. The program that I found, at least the traces of it, I haven't found the actual virus itself, but it's... the way that it acts, the way that it consumes, is almost like a living being. Not like a human, not like a sapient. It's like an animal. Like a starving animal. All it does is consume, but it's smart enough to be more of a threat than usual. However, in the last few weeks, in this last month, as I've been here, I have been developing a defense against it, and I have been somewhat successful. As a measure of goodwill and an apology for Atlantis and Quixote, I'm just the head of a department in research and development. I've met Devi. I did not want to get involved in their business. I'm not interested in that side of the corporate game. But as an apology on Zanidi's behalf, as I am the only one who can make that apology at the moment, I would like to give to you, as a token of goodwill, now, and as I continue to update it, these defenses against this cyber wraith threat. I've developed something that is largely usable. As far as I can tell, a firewall that will defend against this cyber wraith and protect against the greatest damage. I'm also currently developing a more active and offensive measure against it. And as I said, as an apology for the actions and decisions of other Suniti employees, I would like to offer this to both Atlantis and Kyote free of charge.
One thing.
One moment.
Is that you might be going about this wrong.
Nirvana has joined into this project of developing the firewall, and is currently a 50-50 partner with Suniti on the subject.
I apologize. That is
lovely to be informed of this stuff.
Yes. As Atlantis is the top corporation as far as security and as far as just software and media in general. And one thing is for certain, is that we've faced this kind of threat before. You do not want to go offensive with these types of viruses. You want to contain it. You're already going the first step wrong, because if you try to go in an offensive contact towards it, it will just learn and rebuild itself to go against you. Just a tip from experience.
I'll keep that in mind then. But you are, I have developed a defensive measure against it. However, I did overstep my bounds. Nirvana does have partial ownership of this 50-50 split, as it were. So I would ask Nirvana if perhaps you'd be willing to allow me this.
As the project is currently still under development as of right now, I would say that more work needs to be done, but once the process is finished, perhaps a discount would be amenable.
So wait, we're paying for this, for security from this threat
That's
or whatever?
awfully hilarious. What do you think?
Business is business, someone has to make money somehow.
Absolutely, but how does Nirvana have any research in software development?
Personal interest. Business is business.
I see where this is going from.
We would have gone to Atlantis, but your company has been in somewhat of a blackout over the last month, so make do with what I have.
I will not keep you here for too much longer, but I wish to put one final thing out to the board. As Kyoto goes through this Suniti employee's memory, we will be sifting through everything. Who they were involved with, what they were doing, what their main motives were, and I'm going to put it very bluntly to all of you. If any corporation was found aiding or wanting stolen information from another corp, or from Kyoto, that information will be made public, and you may choose to do as you see fit. But if anyone wanted to steal anything from Kyoto, you have to expect your face on this planet will be far fucking gone. Make myself clear?
Crystal.
Understood.
Crystal.
You might have heard of a few Decker murders down in the Rome. It's simply sending a message. However, that, I do believe, ends the most abroad portion of my segment. I will like to offer, however, that Kyoto, seeing how it is near the end of the month, we are offering weapon contracts as well as security contracts, and since current events have dictated, we are offering them at heavily discounted prices due to these insurgent attacks of recent. If you have interest or show interest, by all means, speak to me after the meeting. But my portion of this is done.
Fantastic. Seems like you've learned a bit about PR. Fantastic.
If any other corporations wish to bring up anything crucial or any developments of recent that would be paramount to hear of, you may do so now, but other than that, you are free to leave the building as see fit, and of course, if you have questions, now is the time to ask.
I would have one last point to bring up. You had stated that the figure in question had been executed. Were all of the previously discussed terms of their execution carried out?
Remind me again, if you don't mind.
Number one, that it was public.
Oh, the tissue samples. Yes. Yes.
Not
the
only
tissue
that,
samples, yes.
but a public bioscan of the figure confirming their identity.
Once again, you'll just have to talk to Atlantis, I'm afraid, about identification of the video. The body has a planetary claim, and it goes above me. Unfortunately, the individual in question's parents are, to put it simply, grossly rich. And unfortunately, as you all know, as naive as the world is, there's not much I can do about that.
Perhaps.
I've done everything in my power, I can assure you that. And I'm sorry for all the trouble they fucking caused you.
If anyone wants to see any security footage of the shapeshifter go around trying to kill corporate officials, just come talk to me. I have it. I don't think anyone would really need that, but you know, just in case.
If it makes you feel safer, feel free to send it to whoever you want, honestly.
If that is
All I
all,
want is repentance.
anyone else has any other final questions, then I may call this meeting over. Thank you all for your participation and coming along. We will have another meeting here roughly in a few weeks or so on the progress on this development from Suniti and Nirvana. Thank you for your time. You are dismissed.
I apologize. I would like to bring up one more thing. We have gotten reports from the row, maybe a couple days ago, that a Quixote member had been rampaging about and wounded one of our assets.
So they did have corporate affiliation.
Description?
I think their name was Tim.
Tim,
yeah,
I believe.
Tim. It's the Quixote pilot.
Situation fixed.
I appreciate that.
That is all. Have a pleasant day.
Sounds well.
Alright. Also, we gotta get quieter radios. Scared the heck out of me.
Just don't even have radios that function like me. I can't even contact.
Oh, you had that problem as well this morning. It's bloody awful. Out of interest.
Hello, Dr. Zax. Anyone? Are you on the call right now?
Please do not touch it.
There's a matter I'd like to discuss.
This is Dr.
I'm happy
Mason.
to make a meeting.
I need to get a
I have a
roto
little
but
bit
after
of
that,
things. If you
I'm
could
free
if
after
you were
this.
comfy queue, by all means. Wonderful. Then
we can talk about it
inform
over
me
coffee.
afterwards.
How about that? Alright.
Sounds like a plan.
Oh, Vanessa. We wanted to discuss something that we meant to last week, but we were indisposed at the time.
Please relate to Mr. Craver that there is another matter that I'd wish to discuss with him.
Of course. I will be over once I have seen the other matters.
Very well.
Roto. Like, outside the
Okay.
entrance.
I'll meet you there. Sorry.
It's all good.
Miss Inessa.
Yes.
Ah, and Dr. Valentine. Both of you I would like to have a meeting at Nirvana, perhaps immediately, if you can.
I can do so immediately.
Excellent.
If it's quite alright, I need to stop at my home first and check in on Suniti.
Indeed,
But I will
I
do that.
also have a quick matter to resolve with Quixote as well, if you would guide Miss Inessa to Nirvana, Miss Harper.
Very well.
And who might you be?
Agatha Windrell, a pleasure.
Ah, Elby Sloan, acting head of security to Nirvana.
Ah, I see. Well, I am new here. Just got here, fresh off the boat.
I see. And what is your reason for coming here?
I was requested back. For reasons like this. As what happened in the meeting.
I see. So are you a member of Quixote then?
Yes, I am.
Ah.
They were the ones that made the cake that was out in the meeting room.
I see.
Yes.
Do you perhaps have any skill in research and development? I simply wish to put in a simple order for a new cybernetic arm.
I am not.
That's
however.
pretty easy. I've done it through them before.
Aye.
As I am more the
Trevor's done it before.
cybersecurity area.
I see.
So if you get it over to Craver, he'll most likely be able to sell you on it.
Very well.
Craver is probably your best bet.
Very capable.
Is he currently busy at the moment?
I believe he is talking to the Woto representative.
I see.
Alert him of your need to talk to him in the future.
Aye, I would like this resolved as quickly as possible, as I'm sure you can imagine going around with one arm is not a choice.
I'm sure it isn't. By the way, I need some help taking the box down of that synthetic to the lab.
It was already taken to the front gate.
Thank you kindly.
Have a good day, sir.
Aye, you as well.
Thank you.
Woof. Well, that was a meeting. There he is. Hello there. Do you have business with Nirvana?
I am here under official Mars business for a stock resupply.
I see. Well. Right this way. What is the exact stock that you will need resupplying of?
A little hologram pops up on the arm, and it shows that it needs a bunch of combat stick, like way too many. But it's under official Mars document.
All the documentation checks out?
Yes.
Very well. I'm sure that you have the payment currently prepared.
Yeah.
Very well. If you would just scan right here, the shipment will be on its way.
Scanning complete.
Very well. Pleasure doing business with you.
Understood. Maintain operational security. Continuing patrol.
Greetings, sir.
Hi.
Just letting you know, Doc Mason left a message. He He'd be back at his home for now, but if needed, he's always on call.
I see. Thank you.
Should be good. Off guard for now if needed.
Okay. The people on the main server, if you have gotten there, Slayin would be one of them, is one of the mods, as well as Dexy. I forget some of the others, but there's a couple for you.
When you're doing one of these breaks, do you just throw it out, or you sell it off to a second, third party?
No, we tend to get it serviced.
Get it serviced? Alright, well. Because I'm in the scrap business. And, that thing would make for a hell of a scrap.
It would, but with a lot of these, they can just be fixed with fairly minor parts.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's mostly hydraulics and everything. I can do it inside there.
But I mean, if we do have scrap someday, I suppose we could let you know if you're big into that.
All right. I'd
Easier
say
for us
top
to get rid
dollar.
of it when it breaks.
Yeah, I'll even ship it out. I'll even move it out of here.
Valentine arrives beforehand. You go ahead and start the meeting. I'll be with you shortly. I'm just doing a tour of the person that won the raffle the other day.
I see.
Down in the row.
So graciously too.
They
This
get
wasn't
the
necessary,
evening
but it's
sponsored
very
tour.
highly appreciated.
Hi. And what would your name be?
Nickel Fritz Whizbang. Nice to meet you.
Hi. I'll be Sloan, acting head of security for Nirvana.
Good to meet you, bud.
And who might you be?
Oh, me. My name is Laura. I'm here being his tour guide.
Hi. Well, have a wonderful day. And I hope you enjoy your tour.
You too, bud.
Yes, you'll get a nice
Alrighty, that's about
from
all
you
we have
as well,
in the public clinic. Are you into aromatherapy by chance?
Has Dr. Valentine made an appearance as of yet?
I'm afraid not, sir.
Very well. Ah. Welcome. Right this way.
Of course. I suppose I'll still be waiting in front of it.
It would seem. But I do have another matter to discuss with you as well.
Of course.
I suppose for now, until Dr. Valentine arrives, we can use my office.
Wonderful.
Now, I'm sure the first matter will be fairly obvious regarding the pill project.
Yes.
As acting head for the moment, I have come to the decision that the project has been too much of a waste of resources and time and money, and I would like to officially cancel the project.
Very well. I can agree to that.
Indeed. My apologies that it could not work out better.
It's fine. I'm just been trying to do projects here and there with different corporations to show initiative and gumption.
Aye,
Not
that
sure
is
about the
appreciated.
But
Additionally,
not all things can be breadwinners.
Aye. Additionally, how has the little pet project between the two of us been going?
It has been infuriating, to say the least. It seems the topics are locked, apparently, above my pay grade.
I
As
see.
They were apparently two pet projects, and that's all I am privy to. Which is another reason why I'm trying to rise in the ranks, so I can have access and actually progress forward on that project.
I see. With utmost respect, would there be anyone else that I could speak of that caliber to have this project in the works?
Perhaps Augustine when he returns, if he returns.
I see.
I feel like I remember him mentioning it faintly at one point or another, specifically when he was threatening his ex-wife, but... so he has some knowledge on it at the very least.
I see. And I suppose we can have a little bit of preamble to the meeting that we're going to be doing. What have your thoughts been on this sovereign situation?
She has the potential to be very dangerous.
Aye.
And it is...
Just so you know, you're still yelling, Mr. Sloan.
That should not be the case. Thank you.
I told him to send Valentine up the moment they arrive.
Thank you.
As I was, how's the best way to put this? The more I interact with her, the more I feel like I'm looking at a long-lost twin that was separated from birth. I feel like I have a decent judge on her character, and we are similar in some ways. Not in others, though. She can be very threatening. She can be unstable, short-tempered. Thank God I don't have that.
Aye.
But as long as we meddle enough, I don't feel she would be too much of a threat.
I see.
Granted, I'm more worried about her security detail acting on her behalf should she learn that something is to come amiss, or that she understands and learns of our tampering, so to speak.
Aye.
And that she simply says, I wish it away, and it is gone.
Indeed.
Those are my two main concerns.
That is why discretion on these matters are of the utmost importance.
Indeed. On one hand, I've been trying to think on how to interrupt her spirit to keep it from granting the wishes.
Aye, that was another reason that I had wished to further develop our project.
I had a guess of it, as to that was its core purpose. I just simply wish I had access to that information, honestly.
Aye.
Quite frustrating when you know the information is just within reach, but there's a small door right in front of it, and you just don't have the key.
Indeed. But on the subject of fail-safes, Miss Harper, you can be a part of this conversation in that there should most assuredly be multiple layers. Not only physical on the chassis itself, but also magical as well. We have already developed a few fail-safes ourselves that I believe that we should perhaps come up with more as well. But on your end, I would encourage the magical side of things to have little hiccups.
I could place something inside of it like I was potentially thinking of doing with a project. But I'm unsure if she's gifted enough to know and see those.
Perhaps. On the other side of things,
It's a tricky game to play.
Indeed. Once Dr. Valentine is finally here, we can talk about the technological side of hiccups. But I believe if enough fail-safes are put in place, then we will surely get a leg up if things were to go wrong.
Is there a, I'm trying to think of... Technology fails me at times. A sort of liquid system anywhere in?
A liquid system?
I don't believe so.
I suppose there could be coolant, I suppose.
Aye.
Coolant to keep the power core, because to run that thing, you're going to need one hell of a power source, and that's going to generate a lot of heat. So
Indeed.
we could do something in the cooling system. Maybe some nanomachines in the cooling liquid that could clot the pump under a given switch.
Not a bad idea.
Another thought I was thinking of is potentially fire runes near the core to keep it just consistently hot and fritz it potentially. As soon as it's powered on, no, that could work, especially with the soul going into the center. That is an avenue I could go.
Though, with the chassis having been made susceptible to cold, perhaps cold runes would be better.
True. That's why I was wondering if there was a fluid system that would essentially freeze, or be susceptible to freezing. It would work as a double layer of sorts.
That would be a good idea, though I do feel that we should not put all of our eggs in one basket and aiming at cold only.
Yeah, the cold option is the last resort if we have to combat it, I believe, with cryo and cryo grenades. It's our last ace up the hole.
So maybe not specifically cold or freezing.
But all in all, I would say that, depending on what our intentions are, I feel that it would be best for the Sovereign to never get their soul into the chassis. Once they're inside, they can theoretically make an unlimited amount of wishes to simply fix everything.
And that is the concern.
Aye. At least whilst they are still, at least what seems to be mortal, enough wishes will kill them.
Though there is one thing that bothers me about that, and that is why we're building such a sophisticated machine when they could just will it to be the way they wanted.
That is a good question.
Just any robot.
Perhaps it's a limitation.
Perhaps.
Because it's something that would need to be so advanced and technologically sound for what she wants. It's something that
she wouldn't understand what she would want.
Grant? Maybe.
Because if she cannot physically imagine what makes it work, she can't really improve it from a base, I would imagine. So she would want a base to improve upon. It's easy to think of more armor, but when it comes to the circuitry and the muscle and everything inside, that's something that a technician can only think of. Not
Perhaps.
At least that's my theory anyway on that.
Though if that were the case, why not wish for the knowledge of such things and then wish for the perfect body?
True.
That's something else I didn't think of.
Perhaps there is some...
caveat to the wishes themselves.
Aye.
As I think I remember overhearing from her, or during one of the meetings, something about her wishes sapping her life.
Aye. But that would make much sense for the terms of the contract if they could not simply wish themselves immortal, which is why they need you to put them in.
Indeed.
It's the caveat.
Aye,
And
There
they
are
cannot
rules set
simply
to
wish
this
for a
that
mechanical
we do not
body
yet
because-
understand.
indeed.
Part of me wants to invite her over for tea and just have a chat. Talk shop, so to speak. See if I can gather any information. After all, she still suspects I'm entirely on board with the plan, and I'm entirely going to do what I am asked to do.
Aye, and I believe that you should continue to make her think that.
Of course. I wouldn't have it any other way.
At the end of the day, we are doing what she wants, just not the way she thinks.
Indeed.
Exactly. I will try some experiments, I think. Down below, out of the sight of corporations and out of the sight of people. See what I can do, if I can halt the process, if I can potentially alter it in some way, shape, or form.
I see.
To my knowledge, it is a very finite process, and a either yes or no result. But there is always room for improvement, hopefully.
Aye. Is Dr. Valentine still on their
I
way?
wonder what is keeping Dr. Valentine.
They seem to have a
He
penchant
should
for
be,
being late.
though-
Speak of the devil.
Though I believe they don't like vehicles, they tend to. Ah,
Ah, there they are.
Let's move to the boardroom.
very well.
Of course.
Welcome.
Greetings, Dr. Valentine.
Please, right this way to the boardroom. Ooh. Slayin is one to message about it. Now, thank you both for coming. And as Miss Anessa and I were just previously discussing, the Sovereign in town. What are your feelings on the subject, Dr. Valentine?
Don't trust her.
Aye, of course.
Let it be known, Miss Anessa. I don't like what she's asking. I don't like the idea of her succeeding. I don't like the kind of monster that we're making, but I don't see a lot of alternatives.
Indeed. Many of us share similar thoughts. How much of the relationship she has with her supernatural partner are you aware of?
Not aware of anything of the sort.
Very well. From this point forward, I trust that this conversation is held in utmost discretion. So, our sovereign friend has gotten to their status and stature through supernatural magical means. They have seemingly formed some kind of bond with a spirit of some kind that allows them to make a wish. That whenever this wish is made, 5 years of their life is taken from them. So, the entire purpose of them getting this entire synth project underway is to make a new immortal body for themselves, in which to move their spirit into, that when wishes are made, they do not die. Obviously, this cannot be allowed to happen. An immortal wishmaker, unaligned with any corporation, is a threat to all of us. So, in that regard, we have been building in many fail-safes into this chassis. We have added in ways to tip the scales in our favour and, hopefully, have the entire thing come crashing down on top of her. So, Nirvana has been working on the physical end with the chassis itself, of making the metal of the thing itself susceptible to extreme cold. It becomes brittle and easily breakable. We have other failsafes as well, but on the magical end of things, listen as if you would.
On the magical side of things, I am trying to research and find more information from our databases about other projects. Sadly, I've hit a small brick wall that I need to progress forward in order to pass. In terms of other things, I can potentially put many wards into the chassis itself on flat enough surfaces or upon expanded enough surfaces with which to hamper certain things the synthetic might be capable of. Perhaps heat certain places, chill certain places, get certain places damp where you really wouldn't want things to be damp. Something or anything. Until I have the more finite ulterior methods at my disposal. Also, after a little bit of conversation, potentially looking into ways to make what I have done so far different in a mean. Perhaps changing the ritual circle itself, different wards, different symbols to bind her, maybe her will, maybe other things. It's all still experimental at the moment, and I do need to do thorough testing before I can fully provide those sorts of concrete proof. But that is the plan going forward.
Indeed. And so, we look to you for the AI side of things. Though it seems to baffle me, the possessed body will still need AI programs running in the background. And so, on your end, I would wish that you work to make failsafes in there as well. Things that will trip it up, cease it from working properly.
I can try, certainly. I can try some more esoteric ways. The way that it was explained to me is that she requires an AI, a memory bank, as it were. And this memory bank shall, suppose, when the soul transfers, she won't lose her memories or something like that. But it'll be, in essence, at least until the merge. This has never been done before, so I couldn't say. I suppose the idea is that it transfers the memories over and combines it into a merge, but until then it would be a completely separate entity. And it's a possibility I could subvert that if two wills within one body are fighting each other, I don't know what it would do, but it would definitely disrupt the process.
Aye, certainly. If you could make it that they are unable to think clearly enough to make a wish, that would certainly help the process.
Yeah, it would
Though,
be also to lock down their memories. If they could forget they even had a spirit to do these wishes.
That's more difficult. I don't know how much she'll be double-checking our work. I don't know how much she's going to be...
there is also the matter of the spirit itself perhaps reminding her.
True.
I can do my best. That AI, the memory, the fighting of the two wills, would possibly be the best case scenario on my end. Because I don't believe it would be detectable to find out. I don't even know if she would... One moment. I don't know if she would be able to detect its intent. So, if it intends to fight her, that would be something that could be undetectable. That's what we should be trying for here. Something undetectable, something that subverts her in a way that she won't. No one becomes a sovereign without being untrustful of everything. If she trusts us, she's loyal, and I don't think she's loyal. So I think she's gonna double check our work. So we need to make this as undetectable as possible.
Indeed.
And with someone who can cast and wish something into existence, it needs to be something that she doesn't even think of. That's the most important.
Aye.
Just keep that.
Indeed.
Inessa, it just occurred to me. They just mentioned that there's a fighting spirits, two spirits, right? What if this entire time we're fighting the Sovereign, but turns out the spirit is guiding her into maintaining a physical body, and we have a spirit to deal with, not a Sovereign, in a sense.
It is a curious thought. Potentially I could try with the ritual to sever her connection to the spirit, as, if I understand correctly, the pact is what is binding them, and it is bound to her soul directly. If I could potentially sever the pact, as it was stated, the spirit grants whatever she desires by shaving off 5 years of her life.
But why? That's the question. Why does the spirit do that? It must get something out of this.
I assume that it is a long-term deal. Most likely at the end of the road, her soul or something similar will be its possession.
If that's the case, perhaps we might find an unlikely ally in this spirit. Perhaps.
Or our greatest enemy.
More about it.
Perhaps, though I do believe that you have something there that could be of interest. Perhaps if we could convince the spirit that we are simply helping its contract be fulfilled faster.
I believe we should look into it, because it...
Definitely.
I don't think... I'm sorry, I don't know much about spirits, I'm only assuming now, but from the stories I've heard of things like this, pacts being made, spirits and demons or whatever, they don't usually want that kind of thing that she's doing usually goes against what the spirit wants. I don't believe that infinitely extending her life is going to benefit spirit anyway, so I don't know how we would be able to subvert the spirit itself, but perhaps that can be used as a way, if we know that, we can take a few more risks with trying to get one over on her, as it were, because it won't point out of its own volition what is wrong with
there is a thought that occurs to me. Normally when dealing with spirits and mages who are pact makers, they are getting something in exchange, whether it be support, feeding off of the mage's mana in order to bolster their own abilities, or, in Genevieve's terms, her years of life. What if that is its gain and its goal? It's siphoning off her life energy.
Perhaps.
Which then begs the question, if that is the goal, why is she switching to a synthetic body that would have essentially no life energy to siphon? Unless she has other means and minds to... Indeed. Which makes me question if she has other means to procure life energy that she will use for her wishes going forward. Which, in turn, could mean we might not have to worry about the wishing immediately. But this is hypothesis. I myself am a pact maker with 2 separate entities. A death spirit to help me with my necromancy, in turn of simply showing him proper respect, and another one, a servitude pact with a shadow spirit.
I see.
my assumption is correct, and it is a wild assumption, but it is a informed assumption, perhaps would be the right word. Not
An
unfounded
educated
assumption.
guess.
Yes, that's what I was looking for. Perhaps we could go forward with that. Although I would hate to go forward with that only to realize she still can make the wishes.
Aye.
That would put a foil in quite a
Which
few
is why, overall, I would say that we cannot bank on perhapses or maybes. We have to do for sures.
Indeed.
And the most for sure of them all would be simply don't let the ritual happen in the first place. Whatever it takes, it needs to stop. Whilst we can certainly try to inhibit once they're in the body, it will still be a massive challenge once they're in the body. I feel perhaps our surest bet would be, instead of perhaps moving her soul into the synth, you just tear it out.
That I could do. My only concern with that is, if I subvert the ritual, there's a chance the spirit might see it. I don't know how loyal it is to her, so it might try to interfere in that step.
Perhaps.
If I may, something else that I brought up is that I don't know about both your sides, but what she's asking on my side never been done. Not in the way that she wants me to do it. She wants me to scan her brain, acquire at least most of her memory.
Hello, from
Get them
I don't know if anyone's on the line right now, but this is Dr. Mason.
digital
I'm back from my house. Apologies for the
Sorry, one moment.
absence. Had to take care of some stuff.
Someone's on the radio.
I'll be in the clinic if needed.
Oh, right, it might be my associate.
No, it was Dr. Mason. Please, reiterate.
Oh, okay.
Where was I? What she's asking me to do is insane, to say lightly. It's never been done before, especially in the way that she wants it done. There is every possibility that I will fail. I don't know about either of you, whether your end is less or more possible to succeed or fail. I don't know. I'm not a neurosurgeon, and I know about AI, but the copying of human minds is
Aye.
attempted for, but it's never been successfully.
The only part that truly matters is that we make her think that everything is going swimmingly. As long as it appears that you've done the scan perfectly.
She's going to be doing testing. She wants to test it on other individuals before we try it on her. So she will know whether it works or not. That is the problem.
I see.
But there are multiple possibilities. I don't know if I'm going to have to get into her brain, in which case I'm going to need the help of a doctor. With it be Dr. Harper, or we need to bring Dr. Sachs into this. I might need to get into her head quite literally to access her brain directly. I don't think a regular scan is just going to cut it. But I don't know. This is a lot of unknowns here. I haven't even started on what she wants me to do. But that is a possibility that there's every possibility that it just might not work at all. That is just something to mind. Not something to hope for, not something to expect, but something to keep in mind.
Very well. Are there any other ideas for the table?
Well, if we will be going into the brain, we actually do have some brain surgeons on standby at the moment, I do believe. At that point, if we are in her brain, they usually keep a fairly small detachment of guards. We might be able to take out the guards and just offer there. She'll be unconscious during this brain opening, I would assume, right? Can't make witches when you're unconscious. Won't even know what's happening to you.
Indeed.
Could just take one lethal dose and... Unfortunately.
Perhaps that could be our move. Maybe whilst the surgery is happening, we have Solaris agents secretly stationed nearby to put up defensive wards should the spirit try to intervene. And whilst they are under,
So far,
grant wishes, it must be a strong spirit.
To be able to grant anything the caster desires speaks alone of its strength. Honestly, I'm curious as to how she found someone, or something, so incredibly desirable.
do you believe that with enough mages and runes that we could, perhaps, keep it at bay long enough to kill Genevieve?
It would just take a simple dose, I believe. Be loaded in the machine. As soon as they're
Hello,
on board.
Nirvana team. If you can hear me, this is Dr. Daniel Mason, virologist Daniel Mason. I've called in a specialist to come over to the clinic. It seems Mr. Cross is in far worse condition than they can feasibly handle.
I think we should definitely try to...
And there
What
were some
happened?
people. It seems his
One moment, radio
ribs
again.
are broken along with his legs.
I'll be down to take
So-
care of that.
Yes, I've already called in a specialist to come help. As for, there seem to be some people looking for a Nirvana, representative, I shall say.
Explosion, but wonderful. Not an explosion.
Sorry, who was that?
Mr. Cross seems to have been injured in an explosion, I believe? So...
Yes, there is
I'm
quite
a
the crowd
specialist,
in front of the
and
clinic.
I will be, wait. What do you mean a cloud in front of the clinic? Was the explosion here?
No, there are multiple people for different businesses.
Oh, crowd. Okay. Let me word there for a second. Very well. We will be out shortly.
Well, it would seem that that will be all that we can do for now. We can put more thought into things.
We're all on the same page.
Indeed. So, whilst we will all continue to develop our own projects, it is a pleasure to now be working officially with both of you.
Likewise.
Before we disperse, I have something else to bring up that I may need to...
Miss Alice is coming.
It regards our meeting with Kyoto.
Miss Alice. Alice Harper, you know, is coming. So I think that's better of a specialist, specialist NPC.
As both of you know, Devi was a Sunini operative. I played dumb as best as I could.
Okay, I find the model in the prop room, I guess.
That in and itself is damning. Damning enough that I allowed it to happen. But what Craver and that other man may find in those memories of hers may just damn me even further. Straight to hell. I don't want to have to say any of this. I don't want to have to let any of this loose, but if it's true that he has access to what he does, that he's able to take the memories out of her banks, I don't know who else to turn to now. I may have to ask for your assistance and become indebted to the both of you. I, in my inexperience, and only been a month and I can already fucking say that. Devi passed along to me information and brought to me an associate from the outer ring of the city. I did not like what Kyoto was doing. I wanted to know what they were doing. So we made a plan to find out what they were doing, and I wasn't actively a part of that plan, but I did something that will put me on Craver's shit list. That is, the insurgents he was talking about, whether they're mercenaries or whatever, there was a plan for Panini to... There's no recording or anything going on right now, right? All confidential?
Aye.
He was going to supply a raiding party that was going to disable a Kyoto APC in the wasteland, and they were going to track its GPS system, see where they were going. We were going to supply arms and vehicles to a mercenary group to attack Kyoto. Devi was there for that entire fucking meeting. And she went and she got herself fucking killed, and laid herself out for those operations. If Craver finds out about that, I am fucked beyond belief. I don't even know what to do right now. I have thought of many things I could do, many people I could go to. I thought of maybe going to Genevieve, but I'd rather not be as much in her debt as well. So I wanted to come to YouTube first, because you seem very capable and might have answers that I don't. If you have any assistance you can offer, I'll be in your debt more than I am comfortable with it.
Aye. It is certainly a sticky situation.
And Craver made it very clear that if anyone was attempting to aid and abet insurgents against Kyoto, they would take care of that person first. Taniti's not in a position to fight against that right now. I don't want to be stuck in my own headquarters for the rest of that old crotchety old bastard's life, or whatever Kyoto's code of honor dictates that I die. I'm not even sure what he'll do. I'd be less worried about any other corp. I could take sanctions, I could take a hit, I could take even getting arrested. I don't want to fuck die.
Aye.
You know? What not? I'm just going to shut that off for now, so I can actually think straight.
Could you reiterate those details once again? Just for clarity.
What parts?
The exact reasons why Craver wants you dead.
Why he will want me dead is because I, in my foolishness, when I first came here, I made plans to aid and abet a group of mercenaries that were going to ambush a Kyoto APC. And they were going to hack into its GPS, and they were going to find out where they were and what they were doing in the wasteland. Any other corporation would handle this in a much more subtle way, but much as I thought Kyoto was a scalpel, they seem to be encroaching upon Mars's
Aye.
as a hammer.
It would seem that Elias and Craver have switched the models of their corporations. I will certainly put more thought into how this can be resolved, but I believe for the moment, should things go south, we should perhaps come up with a contingency.
Indeed.
Miss Anessa,
I am part of Sanidi.
I cannot speak for you or your corporation, but I believe that Miss Fortuna's skill set is of very high quality and is worth being used. So, with your approval, I believe that the two of us could come to an agreement that should things go south, that we can hide them, fake their death, and keep them alive.
I could agree to that.
I'd like to keep that as a last.
Aye, of course, a final result. But it must be said.
It's not as though I'm incapable of getting away from him. If I can get off planet, we have Sanidi ships in orbit. I can. Quixote may be very proficient in their soldiers and their technology, but they pale in comparison to Sanidi fleet. So I will at least find safety there. But if all else fails, and even Sanidi is willing to give me up, I will take whatever I can get.
Aye.
2 questions. Are you against changing your name?
I would prefer not to. I, for one, chose part of it, and am still connected to my family back home.
Fair. I just mean on official documentation.
What do you have in mind?
If we are to go through dire straits, I have a gift. Well, more accurately, it is one form my magic takes. As I do believe I have stated once or twice, perhaps in passing, this is not my original figure.
What is that?
And I can do many things to change it as I see fit. And as she does so, her hand goes into her arm and through it, and there is a rippling effect where her fingers push through. And she pulls it right back out. Think a sculptor working with clay. I can change quite near anything about anyone, should they desire it. It's actually how I made a fair bit of money down in the Undercity. A little bit of anesthetics, and I went to work. Suddenly their hair was a different color, their facial structure was more refined. I could make you an entirely new person. A little bit of forged ID, a false body to make them think you've died, and you would be out. Scot-free. Of course, this is a dire strait, if we
Indeed.
find ourselves in that spot. It is an option, and it is one I would give.
If it comes to it, I suppose that wouldn't be so bad. Better than dying.
I mean, I could make you a bit taller. I could honestly give you a body people would kill for.
Perhaps, though that is specifics that we can get to at a later time. A few things I want to make clear, if we get to that point. If it comes to the event that you must fake your death, as you currently exist ceases to be. You cannot talk to your family again. You cannot be in your corporation again. Your skill set you can keep, but you are now a new person in that event. Bear that in mind.
You could be hidden under one of our corporations.
Indeed. That is the next subject I had wanted to go to. One moment. Yes?
Excuse me. I have a message for Miss Inessa from the co-workers. They are asking for your presence on the radio.
Of course, I turned it off.
There are wounded colleagues of yours outside. I mean, in the clinic. There is one, and yeah, there's a bit of a ruckus.
Apologies, I've
Perfect.
been in a meeting.
Have a good day.
I have heard of Ross's accident. Is there any other updates you can give that you need to?
The name would be Slayin. Slayyin. So either one or two Y's.
They asked me to be on the radio and suddenly silent.
Aye, in the way of things. But in either event, this meeting sadly cannot go forever.
True. I suppose we were on the last topic that you wanted to bring up.
Aye. With the option of both of us being your benefactors, should that event happen, either of our corporations could be an umbrella. Either that, or you can be a mercenary of sorts. The specifics we can get into at a later date, should that happen. But, in either event, I will put more thought into how we can get you out of this situation if we can. But, to be clear, as much as I appreciate sentiment, I am a businessman, and I will not be doing these things for free. Aye. So, whether it be...
As I said, I would be in your debt. And
Aye. Certainly, if we do get to the dire straits, you will perhaps be at the call of either of us should we need your talents. But my thoughts would be for the current moment, I would like to be brought more up to speed on our project that the two of us are working on, and perhaps greater leadership can be taken. That would be on Nirvana's end. What would Talaris wish from us?
I suppose upkeep of security on the technical aspect, as we do still have some technological security we need. Other than that, I can't think of much else.
Very well.
I'm sure I could come up with a few more things.
Perhaps in good faith as part of this deal, you'll be one of the corporations that truly do get the firewall for free.
True.
Which, if I may be so bold, Miss Fortuna, was a bit naive.
Well, I was hoping it might smooth things over, but like I said, I overstepped my bounds. I had forgotten about our deal.
Aye.
You're a much better businessman than I am.
You are forgiven. But, unless there is anything else that is wished to be said as of right now, I believe that we should conclude this meeting.
Thank you both for your time. I have work to
Indeed.
By all means, take a rest, Ross. Return to the office. Have a coffee.
I will get myself up.
I do wish a good day to both of you.
I'll see you.
Very well.
Mango, if you can hear me, Jen is arriving at Union.
Once again, have a wonderful day.
He was hurt.
You there.
Excuse me, sir? I was fighting with four-dimensional wires.
Aye. Should any of the others
can you repeat
ask
this,
for
sir?
me, I'm going to take a quick moment to file some reports in my office. I'll be back in but a moment.
Okay, of course, sir.
Oof, that was a long conversation. Okay. Yeah, I'll send you a message. But for now, I'm going to take a quick break. Gonna grab a drink. It's important to stay hydrated. But yeah, things are certainly shaping up. Much is happening. So, I will be right back. And where's my mouse? There it is. Nope, lost it again. There we go. Okay. I will be right... Oh, no, not that one. There we go. I'll be right back. See you in but a moment. Alrighty, here we are. Hopping right back in. Ooh. Oh. There we go. Alright. I'm going to be making a quick trip to Quixote.
Got it, sir.
You stay there. Stay where you are.
What is the problem?
Boris, check ID.
Name and occupation, please.
I'll get his ID.
You call it in.
What's your name, sir?
Welby Sloan.
What was that? There is another individual here, brigade.
Welby Sloan, acting head of security for Nirvana.
Head of security? This guy head of security? Oh, for Nirvana. Oh, stupid brain. Yes, you check out.
We ask you to please back up about 5 feet. Mr. Craver's
Yeah,
on his
like
way.
that.
Aye.
Like 2 meters.
Indeed. Is Mr. Craver in?
I am Holton. I am Holton. Ravana, with me.
Name and occupation.
I work here.
May I ask, what is the reason for this?
Craver, I need to talk to you about something as well.
Yes,
something
ma'am.
I just uncovered.
Is it?
Apparently, the personality chip was stolen from that robot. Someone broke in.
We had an incident about a week ago of a break-in. It was a hostage situation. I don't know if they tampered anything because we lost all our security footage.
That is, well, apparently not, from what I managed to uncover. It was the same situation, I believe at least. But I couldn't really catch much, but once again, something was flying, and it did not look good.
I'm putting you head of this operation. Find out everything you can. Assets are at your disposal. You have my clearance on this.
Of course.
Find out what the hell this is, and fix this matter by any means necessary.
Understood.
we may have that meeting now, Nirvana.
Indeed.
As I was saying, the reason we are holding people at gunpoint is because we have had soldiers in our uniforms and Atlantis uniforms stitched with bombs inside of them, blowing up at our gates. So we're IDing and thermal checking everyone who comes by.
I see. That would make sense.
Very much so.
Now, I
So,
don't
you
believe
wanted
that
to
we've had the occasion to officially meet. Welby Sloan, acting head of security for Nirvana.
Graver Carabas, head of security for Quixote.
I would shake your hand with the normal arm, but
Dr. Sloan, there is Miss Genevieve
there was an
before the
incident
gate
the other day
with
that had
quite the crowd. And
caused
they want to
nearly
meet you,
the death
and
of myself
they
and a colleague.
specifically said that if you are not here in 10 minutes, the contract won't be signed up.
I'll trust him. Allow him to observe. Busy, as is the security
Indeed.
job.
In any event, I have a simple commission that I would like a new arm made. I have some of the schematics for the old one, though it does have some special qualities that I'm sure that your R&D should be able to handle.
Understood. This is quite an expensive endeavor for a new arm, but
Indeed, I am willing to pay, and I would like it done by the end of the week if possible.
we'll get it to you done by the end of the fucking tomorrow. Trust me.
Excellent.
Very well. I'm putting in the order now. Just send me my schematics through. Yes, please. Understood. I'll get that sent to the research team and development team, and you will have that within 1 to 2 days.
Perfect. It has
No issue.
not been pleasurable having to go around with one arm yet again.
I see. We'll get you fixed up, don't worry. But if that is all, I do have some business to attend to.
Indeed. Thank you for your time.
No issue.
Guard, if you would.
I got it.
Thank you.
There we go.
Have a good day.
You as well.
So, he was able to find more evidence regarding the debris, and we would like to.
Ah. Hello again, Miss Legato.
Hello.
Seems we're busy today.
Always busy.
Is this all one group?
It certainly is. I have brought my own team to evaluate non-corporates to come in and check on the work that you've been doing.
I see. Well, I will need all of them each to have their IDs approved before entering the building.
You were given those as your way up for approval.
Here you go.
Temporary ID.
To the guard.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa!
Oh.
Rachel,
Again,
dear,
oh,
this is
that's
not
not
the place.
Yo,
I told you,
what's
those
the
things, you
gunfire?
got a head trigger. You gotta be real careful with those. Sorry, that's on me.
Alright.
Thank you.
Theater of the mind for the other two, as they do not seem to have them on their persons.
Here you go. And you might be peculiar about this. This has my work clothes in it. Work health and safety after all.
Because I don't think anyone else has it.
Can you open it, madam? If it is possible.
She opens it and you see bright orange
Come
hair
again.
girls and boots.
Should I switch into the Android avatar? I don't think anyone else has it. For the inspection stuff?
Perhaps.
It'd be good to have something to look at, I think, instead of looking at an empty space. Alright, I'll go get in position.
Wait. Can you get the guard with you to transfer into it?
Your whisper's not working.
Check your IDs.
Oh.
Wonderful.
Oh yeah, we can just do that once he's done.
I didn't hear the first part, just the last bit, so you might want to walk away.
We have to be
Cards down as the actual bronze, you better not put up with this shit.
What did he ask for?
Can I have
For simple
your
ID.
ID, Miss Jen?
Give him your ID here.
Sorry, I'm attached to the character.
Okay, everything checks out.
Behave.
Thank you.
Is it the last one?
Madam, I'm sorry, but I have lost company policies.
Here you are, sir.
Fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now.
Would you mind
Yeah.
coming with me? I need you to help me get the thing out to view.
Of course, madam.
Indeed.
Alright. Let us head to the lab quickly.
And lastly, before I let you all in, I would like to see some credentials to these individuals, to their ability. Their the IDs have been checked out.
I am, and you know damn well who I am, and you know damn well what I'm capable of. Let's go there.
Are you on Yell?
Would seem I'm not able to control it.
Interesting.
Miss Jen.
Yes, sir. Gross. Cute. Well, Mr. Fritz is quite the tinkerer, and he runs and...
Indeed. I am familiar with Mr. Fritz. What of the other two?
Well, this is my newest employee. I wouldn't hire anybody that wasn't up to snuff. You know that. And Legato here, they they're willing to risk life, limb, and eye just to get at some good machinery. So there'd be plenty of.
I also run the shop and earn the understudy.
I'll be on standby if you need me, Agent Sloan. Sloan?
Very well.
Damage. I've got to deal with that a lot.
I'm on call if you need me. I shall tend to the
In
clinic
fact,
now. Yes?
please guide our guests inside, and I will return in but a moment. I have something to fix.
Or shall I take them?
Take them to the entrance of the lab and see if Miss Alice is ready.
Alright. They have all been scanned?
I'll return in but a moment.
If you all
boys are so
please
thorough.
follow me.
Alrighty. I'm going to fix my audio issues real quick by trying to reload the world and see if that works. Let me chuck all this over here. And hopefully I can fix this weird audio bug. I hope everything's going well on stream so far. Hope we haven't cut out at all. I hope that you guys are enjoying. Yeah, we're having some interesting stuff going on. It's nice to know that that arm's going to be done in a few days. I was worried that it was going to be like, oh, it's going to take 2 weeks to finish. I should have it by Friday's session, so that'll be nice. But yeah, we got a lot to get done. Alrighty, here we go. Yeah. Hey, Mug, are you there? Can you help me test something real quick? Does it sound like I'm yelling if I'm on the other end of the room? Hello, hello, am I yelling? Am I yelling? Can you hear me? Hello? Okay. Thank you. Alrighty. Oh, darn it, I forgot to turn off the pins. There we go. Okay. And now we go.
Don't even fucking reach for their holsters.
Alright. As for the
Can you
actual
fuck it?
technical aspects,
Fritz, darling, please,
Well,
later.
I thought that
not
was
now.
important. I
Those
thought that
questions
would
can
be important.
after.
I don't. Okay, I'm just. That's fine. I figured it'd be important to know.
Ratings, Mr. Sloan?
Although that is a good point, I wonder if it is confidential, but what might be the purpose of this? It's fine if it is not for us to know. But that is...
It is not for you to know.
Interesting. Okay,
fair
as
enough.
I thought.
Well, I mean, for general applications, yeah, you've got yourself a nice top of the line gynoid here. You know what I mean? Like,
Can we take the chest plate off?
of course.
yeah, I mean, we do need to see what's under the hood. That would help. But I mean, on the outside, so
It's
far,
not
the
what
frame
you
and all
think,
that looks
Fritz.
good. No, I know it. I know what you mean. We got to see the tech on the inside. I'm not.
Well, you did comment about the rear a little bit ago.
Look, it's a nice one. I mean, I'm sorry.
You are
Don't want
welcome
me to
take
compliment
it
you on
apart
stuff.
yourself,
That's fine.
if you'd like to.
All
if
right,
you
let
find
me-
that fun.
Let me get my drill out real quick. Let me see. Hold on. I got something. Here we go. These Allen keys? Oh, you're gonna want to change those up. People hate Allen keys. I'm gonna be honest with you. Nobody's got a fucking Allen key. Everybody hates Allen keys. You know what I mean? Like, you try to buy one, and then you think you've got one somewhere in the fucking everything drawer, and then you go to look for it, and that one size that you need is just fucking gone. You're better off using just standard
The
flatheads.
amount of Roto furniture I
lock
have
screws.
Allen keys left over from.
Oh, do you?
Headache. I get
could
it.
use a couple. Alright. Well, I'm gonna be honest. Mechanically, it all seems real sound. This is good composite materials and stuff. I'm not much on the internals.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
we're
That
more or less
tech
trying
you
to
got
design
going
the
on in
future
there.
of robotics. This is the next step.
Future
without a
robotics.
doubt.
Take a look.
Did you have any previous concerns or backlog of issues before we came along? Curious if there's
No, it's
anything
been
that we
all
should
smooth
like
sailing
look at in
so
particular.
far.
Very nice. Okay.
You planning to go anywhere cold with this thing? Cause I don't think it'll do well.
Do I plan to go anywhere cold, you say?
I mean, we do live on a fucking
Looks like
desert, so.
materials will just get... No.
Now, how
Right
cold
up
are we
enough to break.
talking?
I'm guessing pretty cold.
I mean, I suppose if you moved the heat sink to the front here, you might be able to use its own internal temperature to help keep that section warm.
If this gets cold, does the whole thing shut down?
Well, everything is important, isn't it?
Interesting. Interesting.
It's the material.
I shall take care of that. Pardon me.
Well, it's given the context of what
Thank you, Dr.
planets
Mason.
we're on. At least,
Mm-hmm.
if the metal expands from heat, the structural integrity, how it's built up, should be fine.
Miss Legato,
But I do see what you mean.
are there materials available to us nowadays that you've seen in corporate things that could be replaced with that part?
With the worry of the brittleness, I do know there is some stuff. I saw where you would go to consult on that. I am not a corporate person, so I don't know what contacts you have. But I know there was probably a lot of testing of things with Quixote's experimental bullshit and such. Sorry, not bullshit. We don't say bullshit.
Quixote is not involved in this project.
Like, I think as long as you just keep it warm, I think as long as you just keep, like I said, if you were to move this heat sink that's at the back here towards the front, so it dissipates any excess heats, you know, more towards the front end, you'd probably be just fine. I mean, when's the last time we had anything frigid
Hello,
cold down here anyway?
Agent Sloan.
You know what I mean?
May you come out here real quick?
I'd like to proof the project before things happen.
Agent Sloan, are you here?
I'm going to tend to that.
Come out here for a sec.
If there's any
Hello?
questions that come up, redirect them to me.
Material testing on the plating of the main metal, right?
Agent Sloan, so it appears the goblin that's in our premise right now is a known rogue terrorist. It seems Atlantis and Kyoto have taken an interest in him.
I see.
So,
For now, you may head inside and ensure that the terrorist does not do anything unworthy. I'll take care of
take
this.
it You shall handle them? I see.
Aye.
So for now, keep an eye on the goblin.
Indeed, make sure he does not touch anything he should not. And try to discreetly notify Miss Harper of things.
Understood.
Good evening, gentlemen. I appreciate the displays.
And very simple. Give us this goblin, and news won't spread Nirvana and the Sovereign's working with a terrorist in the row.
Very well.
Simple as that.
But I would like to bring up in the future that we are a business. These displays will not be tolerated on Nirvana grounds in the future. If you wish discussions to be held with Nirvana, approach me. I'm a businessman.
So are we. But when it comes to an active terrorist in the upper city, including today, I think some liberties can be taken.
Indeed.
Especially when they try acts upon different corporations through explosive suicidal attempts.
Aye, I agree. I will have the terrorist out in but a moment.
That does seem to be a very good compromise. That should raise the operational temperatures.
Miss Genevieve,
Yeah.
Hello.
over here.
Hello. Oh, me over there. Hello. Yes, sir.
I think that would be the best bet.
I get the game that you are trying to play. But are you aware that this goblin is a known terrorist?
Doesn't matter to me. And I don't care. Because I know the game that you're playing, Sloan. And I don't appreciate it. Are you gonna do the job that I've contracted you to do? Or are we gonna have problems? I had a realtor look in Undercity, you see. Wouldn't it be unfortunate if a rival clinic came in and took away your business? You need to do the job that I have hired you to do, or you need to give me the sin. And I'll be on my way.
We are doing your job.
One moment, this is out of character. As a GM, I need to know if there's any snipers or anything posted up around the facility. I'm being asked on the GM channel.
I mean, probably. At this point, I'd call in an HDR team to be on hand.
So you have HDR on standby?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's all I need. Go back to what you're doing.
Again, I am not privy or allowed to have that info, but that's enough
Now,
thing there.
Nirvana has held its end of the deal to its entirety. Your model is on incredibly well line to 100% production. I see no reason why you should at all be upset with our service. It has only been you bringing in Atlantis and Quixote that has complicated matters. And now you are bringing a known terrorist into my building.
Well, he can leave now as his job has been done. Would you like to tell him?
He's going to be coming out of here in handcuffs in but a moment. But I want your word. No more funny business, or I am bringing this up to every other corporation and the union that you are working with terrorists.
Do you think I care? What are they gonna do?
You should.
And as my guest, he won't be, especially with my boys around. You can deal with that wherever you see him running about. If I catch you trying to undermine me and the project again without letting me know,
We have done no such thing.
hell to pay. Why was I not told about the cold resistance being a problem?
That is simply a prototype. That iron, or metal or whatever it is, is simply being used for display at the moment.
You attempted to berate me at the meeting about how I didn't bring up whom the new energy master may be. And yet, when prototypes are appearing as this, you don't want to bring up these resistance problems to me as well, while I am funding this project for you.
Miss Constantino, I have been in the ICU for a week. I've been unable to attend to this project. Not to mention the fact that this very meeting is incredibly impromptu and rather unprofessional.
I've been trying to meet with you for 2 weeks. And every time something happens, you can't blame me for wanting to know what my funding is going towards.
And you cannot blame me for being in a hospital bed.
This is true.
Now, I apologize that feelings have gotten so rushed, so rash. I do not want to upset you, and I do not want to be upset. I would like to walk away from this meeting with both of us being happy. Production will continue on this, and any issues found will be resolved. Nirvana will get this project done with 100% efficiency.
Agent Sloan, if I may.
And I'll be sure.
Aye.
Shall I go to the front to talk
Yes,
to the
please
visitors?
tend to it. Now, for the continued production of this project, I will need the terrorist in handcuffs. Currently, Atlantis and Quixote are standing outside in full armor, wanting the terrorist. I don't know how they have been notified as to how this happened, but they are still waiting. I have no intention of allowing that goblin to walk away.
Well, then what do you propose we do? As I know that he was up here previously, being accepted by all the other corporations. Look at his gear. You think that I am the one that is going to be his downfall? No, he's one of my only connections that isn't connected to you, Mr. Sloan. And my boys are going to take care of him. And you can go find him outside of that. He is on here, and he is on our territory with a permit. He was permitted to arrive here. So, you can do what you wish?
Miss Genevieve, I appreciate the candor, but the law is the law, and I will not break law to allow you to walk out of this building with that goblin. Development on the project will continue, and the goblin will be chained. End of discussion. Should you have any other concerns or worries, please bring them up.
Agent Sloan, if you may, I have a bit to talk to you about real quick.
Aye.
This way, please.
Think about that for a moment.
Sloan, you will
Indeed.
receive a message on your communicator at this time. From Atlantis.
Yes, I
You
just
have
talked
one
to them.
last chance. Yeah, you have one last chance to give up the person before this all blows over.
What? I see. Arbitrary deadlines.
It seems that Quixote wants them too, and this might be a joint between those two. So they also informed me that they
Aye.
that the goblin is.
I have a mission for you immediately. Contact Union, get them here now.
Well, at least you're aware now.
Hi, Mr. Fritz. This way if you
I
will.
mean, I'd rather fucking
I wouldn't.
squash this, but I mean, I don't want to get
I can come
arrested.
with you.
I didn't do shit. Yeah,
That's what I
maybe that
thought.
might be for the best.
Why don't we all go together?
And, keep your fingers on the trigger. Don't shoot immediately, but we have business
Not
to
me.
attend to. You could probably be attended separately as I...
Actually,
I don't want to get shot either.
Agent Sloan, real quick. Union's not here. Available. Damn it.
Well, we'll have to go with that.
To understand this.
I see.
Mr. Fritz, this way.
What now?
Okay.
I'll attend you, Agent Sloan.
Where's everyone else gone?
For the time being.
How you doing? What's this about?
You are in Kyoto custody now and you will comply.
Please step outside the gate.
Yeah, okay. Sure thing.
All right, if you're gonna walk
Mr.
with
Craver,
I'll go with him. I mean,
let it be known for the record that he is now outside of Nirvana jurisdiction. He's yours.
I see.
All assets roll back to Kyoto.
I'm a man of my word. Now, is there anything else on the project that you wish to see?
I suppose we should talk about how you want to power the core.
Indeed, certainly. It would be a pleasure. Would you prefer the boardroom or the lab?
Let's go to the lab.
Very well. Before we press on, is there anything else that I should know about your comrades currently in the lab?
Not that I know of. Boys, please go to Kyoto and give me an update, would you? Thank you.
Hello, hey, what the fuck happened?
You sure this?
Should I let Atlantis know if it transpired or no? Because they were also with Craver at the time.
I believe they're around.
I see. So, I shall send a message to Atlantis then.
Very well.
All right, one of you, and get along. Get a move. I want to know what's happening.
Nirvana, by chance?
No, not then.
Alright.
Okay.
You're on it.
You'll be calling it business as usual.
So, inquire about the goblin situation with that?
I shall to make a call, but apologies if I'm a bit distracted. But is there anything else you needed?
No, we don't have anything with Nirvana except maybe check on like the sedative bullshit or whatever. I don't know if that.
What happened?
Sedative. Last week we came by and asked about like for like sedatives and stuff.
Let's see. Let's see if I can help work with that. Unfortunately,
I love it. I don't like it. It at the gate.
Come again?
I can get right out of the gate.
Aye.
I think he's asking if you need a gun here. No.
Thank you.
Are you ready to head to the lab?
I don't either, dear. Shall we?
Indeed.
You two ladies can go home if you wish. Please be safe.
Please let them out, Miss Harper.
Message me if you have any questions, and the rest of your credits will be sent to you. Mr. Fritz is hopefully clearing up a misinterpretation. If
We'll
not,
see.
They'll be hearing from me.
Grab a Nirvana employee for a moment. When possible, I will be perusing when you're more available. I assume there's much more pressing matters.
You could speak with Miss Harper. Ignore that.
No problem. Good luck.
Now, to the lab. what else was on the docket?
Mr. Sloan, I know you corporations don't like people like me. Do you understand? And it doesn't even have to be a corporation for you to not like me. I'm sure that you can understand why why I come in to evaluate your work. But regardless of your performance, I'm still highly suspicious of you. As you have been dragging me along in the mud to meet with you, and not making things completely concise with me. Now, how do we go along in the future where we can maybe be on each other's side a little bit more? And I won't have to get any more angry than I already am.
I see. Though this is the first of me hearing that we are on opposite sides, in the future, I will give you more updated reports, as well as I will try not to postpone meetings more often. As I'm sure you understand, the Upper City is a very busy place, and I'm a very busy man. I don't always have time to attend to smaller meetings.
So what is your next step for the project?
That was something that I was actually going to check up on today. As I had said, I had only just gotten out of the hospital bed today.
To your health.
Indeed. But I suppose, as you had said, the power core still needs dealing with.
Miss Genevieve, can I be for a moment?
Yes, I'll be right back.
What had Miss Legato requested?
They mentioned about a tuition fee. I think they want, like, basic medical training.
I see. Well, that can be arranged. For more than 250,000 credits this time.
Only so much I can do if he's actually a terrorist, so who knows.
Now, I suppose you will also be in on this conversation. What else still needs tending to on the chassis itself before it is complete?
Honestly, we're just about finished with our side. There isn't much left to do. We're mostly just waiting on the other bits to be finished. Either power source or core or
So
brain or whatever.
The power core, the
Mechanically,
brain.
it's about finished. Yeah.
Indeed.
And what do you want to do about that? What are your ideas compared to my ideas? I'd like to know yours first.
Well,
So
we
I
have
can
yet
evaluate
to speak with
before I
Dr.
go ahead and
Valentine.
Let mine out. Yes, we need to do that. Actually, I spoke with them briefly. I've yet to speak with all of you in the same room, I think.
Indeed. I believe that would be in order at some point.
Well, I imagine that you'll be working or finishing up the AI core, which I will have to come in for evaluation, for proper personality, and the energy. What did you plan on doing for that?
I believe you told us you had a plan for that.
I did, but you seemed upset about that, so I wanted to hear what your ideas were.
Come again, which plan?
The powering the robot for long periods of time.
Ah, yes.
Most indefinitely.
That was what we had initially brought in Quixote for, correct?
And they were not invited. Atlantis was coming into the meeting and they brought...
Ah, yes, yes, the personality.
I never wanted them involved. I wanted us to find someone who is talented at making those things on their own and bringing them in, unaffiliated.
I see.
So we
A
don't have to pay.
specialist.
Exactly. Now, if that sounds all right with you, I do have someone in mind.
Oh.
Who would
I
this
think I
individual
mentioned him
be?
before. The Mr. Bartholomew, Richard Bartholomew.
Aye.
Richard.
Yes.
I do know the
Sounds
fellow.
familiar.
I was unaware that he is
Didn't know they were skilled in this stuff.
indeed.
Very skilled.
That's quite interesting.
But what I know about him can be used as leverage, if it were, to get him to do what we want. Because
And
I
what would
highly
that
doubt
be?
that he would get involved in these things again. Well, he's in hiding. And someone's interested in knowing where he is.
Whomst.
Whomst, you say? One moment.
Was there anyone else at the gate that needed attending to?
I didn't see anyone out there.
Very well.
I figure if they're out there, then they'll probably ring the doorbell.
Aye.
Mars, actually.
Really?
Yes.
And why would that be?
I know a certain amount of information about it that might be worth getting the exacts. His name is not actually Richard.
I see.
I know a couple of things. I don't know many absolutes. The things I know are he is skilled at making contained energy, and that he's manipulatable. And that he doesn't work for Buck right now. And that's what's important to me. Might be worth talking to him about.
I see. Do you know what his previous alias was?
Greiger, something. Mr. Greiger, I think. I don't have my notes on me, unfortunately. I should have brought them. I was in a kerfluffle on my way here.
Indeed. I would like you to send me those notes as soon as you're able to.
I will.
Thank you.
And then after that, we can get to the personality and get to the skin forming. And
Yeah,
get
that'll
to
probably be the last step once we get everything assembled.
soul merging. We should be good.
Well, wouldn't be the last step even before that then, but the last mechanical building step would be the skin suit, we'll call it.
The clothing.
For lack of a
Cloak
better
suit, yeah.
term.
Skin clothing. Yeah. If that goblin did do what you're claiming he did today, then I apologize. But he did his job well. And as you know, I don't work with very many affiliations, and I do what I see fit. And they did their jobs fitly, as it were. And I do apologize if it caused you stress. But we will be taking their suggestions about bringing the core forward to
Very well.
avoid any cold resistance issues. Understood?
Aye.
Understood.
Though I would like to point out, like I said, that that might not be the exact fix needed for the issue.
Yes, as long as you're working about it, I will bring in people to evaluate again. As a project like this is massive and major.
Indeed. But if you are going to be bringing in more individuals, I want proper certified individuals. I do not want a goblin off the street who is a terrorist. If that happens again, there will be consequences.
Understood. And if you leave things out of evaluation, again, there will be consequences.
Very well.
Shall we be on our way?
Perhaps. But one last thing is that on the final stage of production, it would seem that the statistics were not properly made at the first time, and we anticipate a slight increase will be needed in funding for the final step.
You know, that does remind me, I would like a record of all spending.
Certainly.
If that could be sent to me.
I had thought that that was already clear between both of us.
I'd like a more thorough receipts, numbers beyond just a total.
Very well.
Thank you. And yes, that funding will be sent to you. Sounds like that can be arranged.
Excellent.
Please do feel better, both of you.
Aye.
Oh, thank you.
Shall we?
Indeed.
Come along, dear.
Now, once again, it has been a delight seeing you here once more. Have a good day.
What a delight. Thank you, Mr. Sloan. Oh, you're both there. Okay. All right.
Ms. Sloan, I believe that all business has been conducted thus far.
Excellent. What happened with Atlantis and Quixote?
Well, I've got the message. I don't know what's up with Kyoto right now. They have the one, and I would assume that Kyoto would send them a message, but to be safe, I'll send Atlantis another one. I'll show up Atlantis and inform them myself, if needed. As
I
right
see.
now, I have a synthetic specialist go over to the clinic. One of Mars's synthetics, Mr. Stallion, I'll show you his business card, has been approved for a leg replacement after theirs had been damaged. One shall be heading off soon.
I see.
Would you like me to go to Atlantis right now to inform them of what happened? Just to be safe.
Aye.
Understood. I shall be at Atlantis then if you need me. I'm on call, number 25 if needed.
Indeed.
Very well. God, I would like you to accompany me to Atlantis. I'm going to deliver a message. Well, that could have went a lot worse.
Indeed.
Thankfully, that goblin might have saved us there by removing the heat sink. That doesn't solve the problem with the cryo ammo.
Indeed.
And we can still sabotage that heat sink as well.
Aye.
Played very much into our favor, I'd say. I'm quite pleased with that. Aside from the terrorist thing.
Indeed.
Hope that doesn't happen again.
We have most certainly avoided a major crisis.
How late is it? I haven't eaten a Woda cube today. I'll be very grumpy if I don't get one, so
Aye.
I'll go ahead to get lunch.
I'll accompany you.
It's been a crazy day.
Indeed, to say the least. On the bright side, I have put in the order for my new arm to Quixote, and they say that it will be done within a few days.
Oh, wonderful.
Indeed.
Messed up the business and that kind of stuff. Might even be an upgrade.
Perhaps.
Hey, did you see the little Mars bird around any time lately?
I have not.
Short little
No,
thing?
we have not.
Okay. I guess while we're here and you have my
That
attention,
technician is
does
still
Nirvana have
here.
anything with photo? Anything at all?
Not that I know of.
Anyways, we need to go find this person.
Hi.
Hello again.
Is Jen's down there?
No, they have
Nope,
left.
They've left.
Is there something you require?
You might catch them at Union Tower if you're fast enough. To lunch then. Yes, the bleeding eyes. Wonderful.
After you.
Thank you. There we are. Ooh, looks like a strawberry one. Lucky. After I get back, I might go to the clinic and examine my wounds, see if I can maybe ditch the crutch or something, so I can move a little bit faster and get all the sling for longer, because it's hard to do stuff with one arm.
Aye.
Look, the bones might have mended or gotten close to by now.
I suppose I should be thankful that it was
really
mainly
hurt
the
your
upper
back.
body.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you're aware how much of a threat that we just avoided.
Oh, I'm very aware. That couldn't have gone any better as far as dodging a bullet anyway.
Aye.
And the fact that it worked out in our favor is even better.
I hope that you have learned something for the future. Never, never be intimidated.
Of course not. They're one person, we're a corp. Surrounded by many other corps that also hate them.
Not only that, but do not be intimidated by another corporation.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello there.
Oh, we didn't find the person. I don't think they're here anymore. Ugh.
I know this sounds stupid, but can I check your IDs real quick?
Aye. It's right there on my hip.
Here you are.
What happened to your arm?
Nope, you're good.
Mr. Sloan.
Failed experiment. It's cancelled now.
You too? Hey, wait.
Which I'm not sure if you heard, by the way.
Ah, so it is cancelled? Very well.
Aye.
Probably for the best. One of the things is just not meant to be.
Oh no, I was talking
Indeed.
about it a little bit when we were sunbathing. Yeah, Delar's kind of fucky. This stuff with Delar is kind of fucky, honestly.
Aye.
I'm surprised you still have a Mars weapon considering all the shit that's been going down.
How did that fellow fare with the becoming Jello?
Which one? Oh, yeah.
Which
Oh, yeah, I
one?
think he's-
That happened multiple times.
Which one? It was which one?
How many people have died in that experiment?
Just one. Oh.
Oh, well, you
Fucking
said
those
which
Delar's
one,
and
like there
those
was more.
Delar's there's a reason why we're willing to Lars do all this shit, is because they keep getting the people fucking killed, so, you know. On them, sorry.
Magic is dangerous stuff.
I'm pretty sure a bunch of shit is going down at fucking Kyoto and Atlantis, which is unfortunate, because I kinda needed to talk to both of them.
Aye.
They're just always up to shit.
I want it to be known by other corporations that they have taken custody of a known terrorist.
Which one?
A goblin from the lower tiers of the city by the name of Snicklefritz.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a terrorist? Well, he was just a gun dealer.
It would seem that he might be behind the guards that have been suicide bombing.
Well, if that's the case, then fucking execute him. I don't know, stop blowing up people. That's some proper fucking terrorism. Yeah, I don't know, death sentence. Stop blowing up people.
Yeah, I can't imagine too many will miss a goblin, so...
Yeah, I don't know. As much as I'd like a peaceful resolution to this stuff, and for people not to get killed, they're the ones trying to kill us. So I think the message is quite clear that we need to deal with them.
Alright.
Indeed.
That they're making an us versus them mentality, and we're gonna pick us over them any day of the week. So not much I can really do. Didn't have to be this way, but it. Ooh, lost card. It looks like.
What court? I caught the end of it.
Kyoto probably. Kyoto's got a million fuck off cards, so. He does have a shield.
A lost card today.
Yeah, that's
true.
I think they just went
why I was asking.
I just think they took the wrong shuttle, so that's, I mean, I took the
Maybe.
Wrong time, so. That might mean that they're like going around doing stuff though.
It's still worth noting. Oh my god.
Yeah,
a migraine.
we're looking at like little headaches. Jeez. What the fuck happened?
Oh man, maybe it was another explosion or something. Wow.
I know. I thought.
Pardon me.
Pass out for a second.
Would you mind opening this for me?
Oh, yeah.
One arm.
So much to do at the end of the business day, man. Alright. I can't
Thank
stay
you.
forever. I can't even remember now. It was something really fucking important I needed to get done. Oh, I know. Okay, let's just go look. I think they're fucking done, but let's go look. Let's go back. Unless you want to stay here.
Quite unfortunate to only having one arm, huh?
Indeed.
Well, hopefully that's resolved soon.
Especially the one with the hollow displays. I am curious how Atlantis and Quixote had even known that Fritz was in the building.
Indeed, that is quite interesting.
Aye. It is a similar situation to what happened with Mars in the clinic.
Seen. Yes. I can only assume they saw him because he was on that raffle from the
This is Dr. Mason.
Union.
This is yes, Dr. Mason. Agent Sloan, Dr. Harper. Seems everything is quieting down for the most part. Are you two in a meeting right now?
No, we're just having lunch at Wodo.
I see.
We'll be returning shortly. they just saw him doing his victory tour thing. He won in the row, and
Aye.
I guess he was identified and he was followed or shadowed.
It would seem. Now that I think about it, what happened to Dr. Zax?
I believe they were having shuttle problems,
I see.
so they were unfortunately had to head home.
Right.
Very unfortunate. I believe I'll go examine my injuries and see if I've healed any.
Very well.
So keep your eyes out for anyone. Agent Sloan, good to see you.
Aye. Any reports?
Mostly quiet for now. I've sent the message to Atlantis, and for that synthetic, it seems Sonity came by to help with the leg. It should have just been a simple procedure for them.
I see. I'd like to check in with the situation of the terrorist. I think I'd like you to accompany me.
I see. I'll go over to Quixote then.
Indeed.
Should we have guards or no?
No. Hold down the fort.
I see. We'll be off to Quixote.
It's not really relevant to what's going on right now, but
Go ahead and start my offices.
Okay.
Indeed.
Hey, Derek, actually, go back to Wodo. Hang out with Wodo. If Conrad comes by, tell him I'm here.
Hello there.
Hello there. How can I help?
Greetings.
Hi. I would like an update on what has happened with the terrorist.
That is something you'll have to talk to Craver about. However, I was actually coming over to talk to you guys about something, if that was okay.
Certainly.
However, I do not wish to speak about it in public. It is quite valuable information.
Very well.
Oh, you want to go inside? You have business here? Does this horse have business? Seriously? No, he does not. He's not allowed in. No excuse. Oh, get out of here! Ma'am. Listen,
Stallion, you'll have to wait out here. I hope you could understand that.
I believe that is Mr. Stallion, the Mars Synthetic. We just got their leg replaced.
I see.
Are these gentlemen heading inside?
Yes, I need to have a word.
Okay. I will need to have your papers, please.
Yes,
Your name?
Welby Sloan, acting head of security Nirvana.
Alright, state your business.
Unsure. I'm being called to a meeting.
Alright, good enough. And you? Your name?
Dr. Daniel Mason, virologist with Nirvana.
Virologist.
I
And your business?
accompanied
Yes, he's
Agent
plus
Sloan.
one.
Alright.
Good. Yes. Thank you for your IDs, gentlemen. Right this way.
Have a good day.
Understood.
Radio in that, Mr. Conrad's here.
I could just tell him he's over there.
Okay.
Let's just go.
Very good.
We'll
If
talk
Mr.
in the
Conrad's
office.
here, then I assume they know the situation with our
Should be.
Most likely.
person of interest. Good.
Craver apparently can't
I
run
won't
here.
want them to bang down our doors again.
It appears my wounds are healing quite well. I will be able to ditch the crutch soon. But as it is late, I will be signing off for the night, so you'll have a good rest of your day.
Rest well, Dr. Alice Harper. I shall see you next time.
Indeed.
Good to
Have a
hear
good
you're doing
evening.
well.
I apologize. I hope you could understand the security.
Aye, certainly.
It is understandable with everything going on. We've certainly
Yes.
seen a bit of the aftermath of it. Poor
Sadly, yes, I have. I must apologize as well for the actions of Quixote today. You may have a seat if you wish, but it is fine.
I'd prefer to stand if that's all right.
That is fine. I needed to talk to you in regards to the conversation that was had during the meeting this morning, in regards to the data wraith, or
Aye.
cyber wraith as some of them have referred to it. What sort of information could you give that I'm allowed to have at least in regards to this wraith?
I'm afraid for the most part that we know as much as you do. Simply that a cyber wraith had seemingly attacked several corporations out of nowhere.
I see. From what I gathered from the body, was that this cyber wraith, oh my lord, I'm having a really bad time talking today.
Aye.
The cyber wraith there was traces in the road and regarding to a certain shop. However, I am unsure of what the shop is actually about, so I'm going to be going down there to investigate.
I see.
However, what I gathered as well is that when I was looking into the files of this synth from Saniti, the personality chip was gone, and instead there was footage of this cyber wraith attacking Quixote. They didn't delete the data, they didn't delete the footage, but they simply showed that they were there. Their presence was known.
Interesting.
My concern is, from what I've gathered, just from this short amount of time I've been working on this case, this is something that should not be kept secret to any corporation whatsoever. This could kill a corporation if possible. If it gets enough power, it will be able to destroy a corporation.
Aye, that is why Suniti and I are developing the project to create a firewall that should be able to prevent.
Yes. It is. And if it's able to get into our security so easily, we need to make this quickly.
Indeed.
If it was able to get into Quixote with no problems, I apologize, I just had a bit of a headache. If it was able to get Quixote with no problems, who's to say that it won't get into Nirvana, for example?
Indeed.
And to collect all of your data. If it is possible, when you have the chance, I would like to get some updates on how the situation is going in regards to making a antivirus in a way.
Certainly. Updates can be given.
I will be taking over this project to ensure that all corporations are safe.
Come again.
I apologize. I was saying that I want to ensure that all the corporations are safe, as this is now something that has been bestowed on me.
Certainly, as do I. It is the priority of this project to ensure that corporate secrets stay safe.
Of course. I never I do believe I caught your name, but what was your name again? You'll have to forgive me.
Daniel Mason. Let me call me Mason.
Pleasure, Mason.
That's what I prefer going by.
My name is Agatha, but you can call me
Agatha?
Aggie. A lot of people call me Aggie at this point, so it's just easier.
Wonderful.
Understood.
Do you require to talk to Kramer, by any chance?
I simply wished an update on the situation with the terrorist.
Yes, that will have to be a talk with Kramer, as I was escorted away when that happened.
I see.
All the information to that. Yes.
Understood.
Shall we go out, though? I appreciate you having the talk with me. I know
Indeed.
it can be a bit of a ball ache in a way when you're being forced to, well, not forced, but being told to come into a corporation, have a small 2-minute talk, and then being told to, let's go out. Yes, I apologize, but it couldn't be done in public, sadly.
Certainly.
What are you doing?
Well, he's here for him. Kramer.
Just gonna head up, but yes.
Hi. Hello again. I simply wished an update as to the situation with the terrorist.
He was given a fair warning not to attempt anything.
No stronger action?
Physical reminders.
I see. Well, his charge is not solidified.
Deterrence. We dealt with it how we saw fit. We are also closely monitoring them.
I see. Though perhaps if the same acts that he has been up to continue, a execution would be more suitable.
Without a heartbeat.
Excellent.
Understood.
Well, that's all I had for you.
Gentlemen, they will escort you out. Pleasures as always.
Have a good day.
As we walk back, Agent Sloan, I want to talk to you about some other Nirvana business.
Very well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You as well.
Wood still like to... Wood still is interested in the whole sedative project.
Aye, certainly.
I'm wondering, what are the statuses of the clinics in the other parts of the city? The Row and the Undercity.
I have not been able to check in a while, but I believe that they're still doing fine.
If possible for the Row, would it be possible for me to go check in on them?
Oh, certainly. You're welcome to make a visitation down to either.
Understood.
Perhaps would be a good idea for more higher-ups to frequently check on the lower tiers.
Understood. I'll see which one I can go to.
Very well.
My schedule.
Aye.
Indeed.
Has any more progress been made on your particular project?
Unfortunately, with the nature of it, it seems a bit more magical, and we would need someone who is an expert on that.
Aye.
The biological side seems to be mostly dealt with the sample dies, but seems to grow. I believe it has something to do with more magically inclined subjects. So
I see.
it might be something to talk with other Tellars or give up on, depending on how you feel.
Indeed. Do you believe that there could be any attempt made to remove the magical part?
Unfortunately, I'm not an expert on magic myself, so we would need help with that.
I see. So the magic seems to be intrinsically ingrained enough that it is inseparable.
At least what I think. Then again, I'm no expert on magic, but from what we heard from Mr. Cross when we first looked at it, seems to be necromantic in nature, so I believe we need someone with an expertise on that.
I see. I'll have to put some thought into that. For now, I would say try and make any attempts to make a non-magical variant if you can.
And as for the sedative, I'll see if I can help with that in due time as well.
Indeed, that should be an easy project.
Yes. Quite an exciting day, but since
Indeed.
it's getting late, I shall see you next time, Agent Sloan.
Aye, have a good night. Any reports, gentlemen?
Oh, there was just that snail woman wanting to get signed up for a course for a tuition, but I solved the problem. I gave her the internet and offered the services.
I see. To clarify, are they simply looking for health insurance, or are they looking for medical training?
Alright everyone, the session is now over. Please respawn or you will be
second
teleported shortly.
training, they discussed it with Miss Harper, but unfortunately Miss Harper wasn't here.
I see. Well, in any event,
I had a comp.
it has gotten late, so I will be heading in.
Have a nice evening.
Indeed. Have a good night. Oh, wow. And there we have it. Oh, my.
Ben fucking stole it. Who stole my bit away?
Right arm, right arm.
This was a huge player count this session. You all did amazing. Thanks for coming.
Oh, my word.
Fighting like a fucking married couple. Were we not?
That was the most.
You said this, and you're like, I've never lied. I didn't lie about that. I was like, then why didn't you tell me about it? And I was like, it's like, do you look at other women's asses, or do you only think of mine? And you're like, I didn't say that. You're like, I've never said that in my whole life. Like, we're just like fighting like old married couple. I thought it was funny.
Oh, my word.
It was funny.
My word.
And then you arrest. I basically thought you were only arresting Fritz because they found a thing wrong with the robot and you were mad about it.
No.
And I was like,
I had Quixote and Atlantis standing outside the gate.
well, you like ran off because you're like, I gotta go do something. And I was like, oh really, do you? Gotta go do something. And then you ran off, and then you came back, and then you were like, I need your guy that's evaluating stuff. And I was like, you motherfucker, you ran away just to steal my
Nope. My word. The mental sword fight.
I tried to run in a mental what?
The mental sword fight that we went through.
Yeah, I know. It's like we're both like, Yeah, okay, right. Okay, we're like gonna fucking shoot each other one day, probably.
Sloan will not be intimidated.
She won't be in.
You're just guards to me.
Yeah.
What is an ant to a boot?
I was this close to walking up. Like, the problem is that, like, I want to play the character, but there's so many things that I can't do because I'm supposed to be like a story catalyst to
Yeah,
make you
yeah.
guys talk to each other, like, a lot of the time. And I wanted to walk up and be like, makes force field in robot, explodes robot. So I'm like, do it again.
You're paying for it.
I don't know. I know, but I was like, he seems too stubborn. I don't know if that would send the message or not.
Sloan has been nothing but cordial.
Yeah, you've been very not upfront,
Yes.
though, which is fine. That's cordial, but not upfront, you know. But it's like, at the same time, it's like, it's really hard. I understand what Slan went through as Augustine, because it's like hard because you know everyone's working against you, so you're like,
Yeah.
how do I get one of you guys to be on my side without being like a crazy bitch? So,
The secret is you can't.
yeah, honestly. Honestly. That was fun, though.
Yeah. Oh boy. So yeah, that was very much something. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope that was a good time. I'm still not sure whether or not I'm gonna stream this Friday or Saturday. I'll see how things play out. But thank you everybody so much for watching. I'll see you around. If not this Friday or Saturday, then next Monday. And I hope that you all have a good evening, good night.
You having fun talking to yourself?
And I will see you around.